I got my strips cut out of the pants that I just showed you, and now I need to sew them together. And because the fabric is all the same, I am not going to sew them on the diagonal. I'm going to sew them end to end. Make one long strip. I'm going to make some trivets that a friend requested for her snowman. And these really cool pajama pants I found at the thrift store, again, my favorite place. She wanted blue with snowmen, and how cool since Valentine's Day is coming up. So we'll make her some trivets out of this, but this is what we're going to do to make our rope. We're going to sew these pieces together end to end. Those are pretty hard to pop apart. And there you go. The start. Let's start a small round trivet. I cut up my pajama pants into strips. I sewed my strips together, and I sewed my rope together, and I use a zigzag down the middle of my rope. I've got about maybe an inch, and I've got it wrapped real tight around this corner, and we're going to get started. Maybe. I start about midway, so then I can back stitch to the end of it. And I go all the way back, instead of trying to cram all that in there. So now we're going to start this corner, and we're going to come around, and we're going to scrunch, 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 because we want to keep all of this flat. So you want to scrunch a whole bunch of rope up in there, and then flatten it down. And just go slow. Coming around the corner. Keep that all scrunched in there so this all stays flat right here. Scrunch it all in there. Scrunch some more till you think you can't get any more in there. See how flat this is right here? That's what you want. Go very slow, keeping it all very flat. And we're just making a small trivet. I have a friend that requested one for her snowman to sit on. So see how this is buckled? See how this is buckled? Scrunch it in there. See how I scrunched all that in there and then this became flat? Just scrunch it in there. And it's really, really a lot of scrunching the first few rounds, but it's important to keep all of this flat. So you gotta scrunch it, push it, shove it, however you wanna look at it. Squeeze it in there. Push it in. Flatten it all down. And this is nice and flat. Do that first few rounds, and then you'll be ready to go. So scrunch it in there. Flatten it all down. Make sure all of this is flat. And I'm telling you, it does get easier. So, watch again. Scrunch and flatten. This is flat. Scrunch, flatten, and sew. And now it's already starting to get easier. The main thing is to keep your work nice and flat. So scrunch what you have to keep this flat here. All of this flat. It's already getting easier. Nice and flat. Need to clean my machine again. It's already getting easier. We're forming a circle. Okay, so I'm going to squish it. I'm going to flatten it down. This is all nice and flat back here. Hold it all together with your fingers and go slow. Scrunch, flatten, sew. Small sections at a time. Whoop, I slipped. And now we're going to scrunch again, push it all up in there, flatten it all down. A little bit more here. It's already getting easier. See how I got this little buckle right here? Just push it all down. Squeeze it all in there. Keeping this flat, flat, flat. Already getting easier. Look how flat. Nothing to it. You can do it. All right, got her all finished, and somebody had requested to see how I end mine. And there are several different ways to end them. You could simply just cut it and finish sewing it and be done. You can gradually tuck it and then sew this, cut it, and be done. But since this is so small and it's just a little trivet, I'm going to taper my end and try to disguise it as well as I can because it's just so small. We're going to come around here like this. Maybe tuck that end under there. See, what I told you earlier in the video, or the other video, how easier it gets, you really don't have much scrunching anymore. So I'm just going to kind of tuck that in there and shorten my stitch length. I'm not a fan of the big abrupt ending. It's your own personal preference. However you want to do it. And there we go. She has a place to set her little snowman. Nice and flat. Everything's flat. That's all the bigger she wanted it. Little hearts. Every now and then you get lucky and little hearts even came together. Little snowman. Started off as a pair of pajama pants that I got at the thrift store for 50 cents. And there you go. Perfect little trivet to house a little snowman. I hope you enjoyed the process.